We have studied that the energy of universe is conserved. This is known as the first law of thermodynamics. This law also correlates the different forms of the enthalpy changes in chemical reactions. This law also provides a mean to find out these changes. However, it gives no clue as to why a particular change or a reaction takes place while the other does not. For example, if we keep water in an open container, it evaporates. However, if turpentine oil, which is a very heavy oil, is kept in the container, then it does not change to vapors so easily under the similar conditions. Similarly, heat flows from a hot body to the cold body, but the reverse is not true. We also come across a large number of chemical reactions on which readily takes place either on their own or under specific conditions. But at the same time, there are many which do not take place at all. The answer to all these observations is provided by one more very interesting thermodynamical term. Let us try to analyze and understand the uh, various changes or various reactions in the light of today's topic. So, my dear students, I welcome you all for today's session. First, you go through this slide. How spontaneous both are. See the natural flow. Okay, we'll conclude afterwards. Both are spontaneous people. Why they are called spontaneous people? Because whatever you do naturally on their own, without anybody's help, natural process, all those comes under the spontaneous process. So just now you have seen the two people who were very happy. It is because they were very spontaneous. This as you see this slide, okay, and see this caption about the spontaneous word. If a person lives a spontaneous life, then he realizes that life has only one meaning, the life itself. See, very important statement about the life he has taken. He is highly spontaneous person. What do you mean by spontaneous? These are the words which gives meaning, equivalent meaning for the spontaneous. Okay, but in terms of the sentence, in terms of the meaning, okay, what is meant by being spontaneous? Doing things other than what you have planned, scheduled, or already part of your routine and habits. See, every day you have your own routine. Whatever you do, it's all spontaneous process only. Walking, it is spontaneous. Okay. Study is also a spontaneous process. Okay. So whichever is you do naturally without anybody's help. Okay. Or without it's a part of a daily routine. All those processes are called as what? Spontaneous process. Now this is in general I said. See this one. This process is spontaneous, but not this process. Okay. Why? It is naturally flowing, coming down. Whereas, but this one is it requires some extra effort, or you should go for some extra arrangement. Then only you can make this ball to move upward. Otherwise, this is a natural phenomenon, natural tendency. See this one. Water flows spontaneously from higher level to lower level. This is called spontaneous process. Okay, but this one is not spontaneous process. Okay, rusting of iron, spontaneous process, which is exothermic in nature. Ice melting is a spontaneous endothermic process. Okay. Now, if you leave ball from this area, it is like our water world where we skip, that is. So automatically it comes down in this way. Okay, very spontaneous. Now this is a two gas chambers. One is empty, other one is full of gas particles. In between partition is there. When the moment you open the partition, these gas particles start moving in this chamber. Here no one is there to stop them, no one is there to it is a natural process. So whenever you open this partition, there is a diffusion of gases takes place from this container to this container. Okay, So all these are examples for what? Spontaneous processes. Now this one for you, especially for you. The left one is highly spontaneous, whereas the right one, I leave it to you. Now, what is meant by a spontaneous process? Always occur on their own without outside intervention. Second point is always have a definite direction. That means I have to roll down in this direction only. I have to move in this direction only. So he says always have a definite direction. Purpose is there. But the reverse process is never spontaneous. Okay. And third important point is what about the spontaneous process is temperature has an impact. Definitely. You see, you observe the movement of gaseous particles under the normal condition. If you take that system to the higher temperature, that time you see here temperature plays very important role for the spontaneous process. Okay. So more the temperature, system goes to higher spontaneity. Example is ice melting or forming, hot metal cooling at room temperature on its own. Okay. Now characteristics of spontaneous process. Okay. Number one, all spontaneous processes have a tendency to take place in particular direction on their own. This I made clear. Spontaneous process may be fast or slow. This is very important. Whether the process is slow or a fast, but it is spontaneous. Catching fire by the petrol is very fast, whereas rusting of iron is very slow. But both are spontaneous, which is occurring on their own. So what you want to convey? He says that spontaneous process may be fast or slow. Some spontaneous reaction may needs initiation. See, for example, hydrogen and oxygen, they react. No doubt they react, but they require small initiation. For example, if you bring an electric arc or if you heat them, then they react and become water vapor. So there are some processes they require a small amount of initiation, then they become highly spontaneous. Okay, so these are three important characteristics of what spontaneous process. Yeah. Now see this one. Now, in terms of chemistry, what do you mean by spontaneous process? Here, in terms of chemistry, spontaneity or spontaneous process means whether this reaction is feasible or not, whether this reaction is possible or not, whether this reaction happens or not. To explain or to understand about a particular reaction, whether it is possible or not, that is called spontaneity. Whether this reaction happens spontaneously or not, or whether you have to put some conditions, or under what condition it becomes spontaneous, whether reverse is spontaneous or not. So all these are explained in terms of what? Spontaneous. Okay, right. So this is exclusively with respect to chemistry. So spontaneous word explained with respect to chemistry. Now, spontaneity. What is meant by spontaneity? The tendency of a process to occur spontaneously is called spontaneity. In a given set of conditions, a chemical reaction proceeds spontaneously in a particular direction. The occurrence of the same reaction in the same set of conditions is not spontaneous in the opposite direction. Therefore, there must be a driving force which makes a chemical reaction spontaneous in a particular direction. Then, what is this driving force? The force which is responsible for the spontaneity of a reaction, that is, the force which makes a reaction spontaneous in a particular direction, is called the driving force. That means to occur a chemical reaction in a particular direction, there is a one force that is responsible for the spontaneity and the reaction becomes spontaneous. You see that force? Let us see. Now, which makes a particular force, driving force for a particular reaction? Okay. One important force is what? Enthalpy change. Whenever there is enthalpy change, then that time the process becomes spontaneous. Especially if the change in the enthalpy is negative. Okay. If it is less than zero, that time it is highly spontaneous. In most of the reactions, we have seen heat is given out. Maybe here and there some cases are there where neither heat is absorbed, nor heat is given out, or heat is absorbed. But in most of the cases, we have seen heat is given out. That is called enthalpy change of a reaction. That means a chemical reaction should become spontaneous or visible when there is a negative for change in the enthalpy. So whenever there is a change in enthalpy which goes to negative less than 0, that time the process becomes or the reaction becomes spontaneous. But what about the endothermic reaction where delta H is positive? What about the chemical reactions where they go to the equilibrium? Okay, that time change in enthalpy equal to 0. They too are spontaneous. Though delta H is 0 or more than 0, still they are spontaneous. That means what is the conclusion? Conclusion is change in the enthalpy or delta H going to negative is not only the sole criteria or not only the only one criteria to decide whether reaction is feasible or not, whether reaction is possible or not, whether reaction is spontaneous or not. Then what is one more condition? Let us see here. Please see here. So this example already you have seen. When we open this partition, automatically they become what? More spontaneous. But here there is no change in enthalpy. Without going for the change in enthalpy, the process is becoming spontaneous. Okay, why? Here earlier all were here only. For example, this is a red particles. These are normal particles. So when you open the partition, these particles will move here or here. So they continually mix each other until equilibrium is maintained. Okay, that means earlier they were in one condition. Now they are in a different condition. Which condition? Earlier they were moving in this container only. Now they are moving to another container. That means we know that gaseous particles are in the random movement, and these are called what? Brownian movement or zigzag movement or disorderness, randomness, chaotic. Now when you open this partition, they have become more chaotic, they have become more random, they have become more what? Spontaneous. That means earlier system was not in the random, it was in the random, but when you open the partition, it became more random. So system has gone to the more disorderness, more randomness, more chaotic. That means whenever system goes to the more chaotic, that time it becomes spontaneous. To explain this one, we are going to introduce one more small concept in the thermodynamics, that is called entropy. Okay, what is entropy? We'll discuss now. Before you go for the entropy, let us see these two situations. These two are gaseous system. Okay, both are. Now, which one is more probable, or which is more better to explain the gaseous condition of the gas particles? This one. Can we expect the gaseous particles to come to one particular point and stay like this? Never. So this is more random, this is less random. Okay, so the system which is in the more random, more disorder, more chaotic is spontaneous. Okay, see this one. Lorry full of bricks came, and now lorry is from the lorry we are removing or throwing using that hydraulic machine all bricks. Now what we expect, whether this type of bricks will fall or this type will fall naturally in this way. See, this is the best way, or this is the not only best way, this is the only way where the bricks are on the ground, okay, from the lorry. Can we expect this arrangement? No. Even while construction also we don't expect like this. That means what is the conclusion? A system which is more chaotic is more spontaneous. Okay. So there are many more possible disordered states than ordered states. So repeatably, this is a sign of disorder, means chaotic. That means this chaotic is called as what? This chaotic is called as entropy. So we are going to learn one more new term in the thermodynamics, that is called entropy. First we learned about the enthalpy. Now this is entropy. What is enthalpy? Enthalpy is what? It is related to the heat content. Entropy is what? Entropy is the disorderness. Please here. Here, energy is conserved. Okay. That means whenever gas moves from one chamber to other chamber in the previous example, there was no change in energy. Energy was maintained. Energy was change enthalpy was zero. But they were moving. Because of what? They want to go for the more chaotic. That means what is entropy? Entropy is randomness or disorder of a system. There is a tendency for all natural processes to increase in entropy or to increase in the disorder or to increase in the randomness. You see this example. Solid state, liquid state, and the gas. Which one has got more entropy? What do you mean more entropy? In which case more disorder is there? That is the more entropy. So in the gaseous state, more entropy is there, more disorderness is there. So it is highly spontaneous. When you compare entropy or the spontaneity of gas with the liquid and the solid, it is concluded that in a gas, molecules are more randomly distributed. Therefore, gaseous state is more spontaneous. That means for a system to become spontaneous, what is the second requirement? Second requirement is what? A system should go to the more randomness. Okay. That means it should go to the increase in the randomness, increase in the entropy. There is a tendency in nature to proceed in a direction that increases the randomness of a system. A random system is one that lacks regular arrangement of its parts. This tendency toward randomness is called entropy. This is the definition for the entropy. Entropy is a measure of chaos or disorder. Symbolically, entropy is designated as S, capital S. So S can be defined in a simple qualitative way as a measure of the degree of randomness of the particles such as molecules in a system. Okay, right. Now, can we calculate how much entropy is there in the system? No. I told in the previous session that it is very difficult to know about the internal energy or enthalpy, but we will come to know, we will calculate change in the internal energy, change in the enthalpy, that we can calculate. Okay. For example, I gave, you have some money, I told in the previous session. How much money is there? I don't know with you, but if I give 10 rupees to you, certainly there is a increase in the what in your bank account by 10 rupees. That much I can say. But how much money was there with you? I don't know. Like that, internal energy or enthalpy, it is very difficult to measure. But change in enthalpy can be measured. In the same way, entropy also, it is very difficult to calculate how much entropy is there or associated with a particular system. But change in entropy can be calculated. So therefore, change in entropy is a state function which depends upon what? Initial state and the final state. It is independent of path. How entropy increased, decreased, I don't know. Increase is there, decrease is there, guarantee. How much is there? That will be calculated. Therefore, change in entropy is a state function which is independent of path. Yeah, entropy, this is the conclusion. Entropy is what? It is a state function. It is independent of path. What is delta S? Delta S is a change in entropy. And in chemistry, for chemical reactions, okay, what is delta S here? Delta S means what? Entropy of the final minus entropy of the initial, or change in the entropy of a chemical reactions means it is the total change or total entropy of the products minus total entropy of the reactants. Okay, that is called change in the entropy. Remember, for a process to be spontaneous, these two are very important parameters. Number one, enthalpy parameter. Number two, entropy parameter. Enthalpy should be what? Enthalpy should be negative. Change in enthalpy should be negative, whereas entropy should be positive. Where positive? Because earlier it was small entropy, small randomness. Now it has become more randomness, more chaotic. So that means from less to more, it has gone to the higher randomness. So what is the change in entropy? More minus less, it is positive. That means delta H should be negative, delta S should be positive. Then only a process becomes what? spontaneous. That means this is the driving force. Just now we are understanding now which driving force is responsible for a chemical reaction to happen or to feasible. It is the combination of both delta H and the delta S. So now we will conclude. In the next session, we will discuss who will take care of these two factors, entropy and enthalpy. Till then, have a nice time and thank you and all.